We're Robin and Steve. We left off at a remote protected reef, where I may have led you astray when I said that you were hearing the sound of shorebirds. Let me clarify with a tongue twister. She saw seabirds on the seashore. I'm not sure what birds were flying around, but it's more likely that they were seabirds. So in case you're ever in this situation and can see the birds better than we could, here's a short seabird nerd section. Seabirds have webbed feet, long tapered wings, special salt glands that mean that they can extract fresh water from their food. Plumage that is dark above and light below. They have more feathers relative to body size than other birds. They spend most of their time at sea and have longer lifespans than other birds. And that concludes the Seabird Nerd section. This reef has been a highlight of our trip. Let's jump in and meet some more fish. I've had a go at identifying some fish, but you might have to fill some gaps, and I might have some wrong. So feel free to correct me in the comments section. It was beautifully calm while we were here. Calm enough for you to do a headstand in a kayak, as they say. As stunning as this place was, it's not a place to be when the wind comes up, so it was time to move on. We were to head south toward the Whitsundays. First stop, Gloucester Island, for a night's rest before we headed around to the Whitsundays, Langford Island. Big winds were coming, but it was calm enough for me to do silks, and for Steve to fly the drone. And just after this, a mother and calf humpback whale came up right beside the boat. Yep, this was a good day. We had to get some better shelter. We headed to Hayman Island, which was growing back a bit since last we'd been. Battered by cyclones and then fire. It's had a rough time. So it was heartening to see some signs of recovery. Although much of the coral in this bay had not recovered, we saw the same osprey nest that had been there a few years ago. And just around the corner from the anchorage was a beautiful coral garden. weren't many fish at all to see here, but on my second day of snorkeling I saw a few, and also plucked a fluffy towel from the bottom of the ocean. No doubt this had gone flying from someone's boat on a windy day. We'd stayed more than 24 hours on the mooring, so we had to go. And in our next anchorage we saw a dugong. Getting diesel by kayak in 30-knot winds is not optimal, but we did 3 jerry can runs in kayak to Airlie Beach, did some washing, and then we could head off to take a walk atop Whitsunday Island on the northern side. We wanted to wait until the currents would help us through Hook Passage en route to Border Island, and this was the perfect way to pass the time. This island had a lot of goannas, and maybe this curlew bird was a bit intimidated. It made itself very big. We were very impressed, but the goanna seemed unfazed. After passing at least 5 goannas, it was time for us to make our way through Hook Passage. Here's a quick map recap. We sheltered at Gloucester Island, then went over the top to the Hayman Island area, swung by Airlie Beach for some fuel, and then went through Hook Passage to Border Island, where our story continues. Border Island is a little further east than most of the Whitsundays action. It's a green zone, that means no fishing, so we were keen to snorkel here again. Once we'd taken in the sights from the top of the hill. From up high we could see the swirling black shapes in the shallows, localised bait balls. And here they are, close up. We walked, we kayaked, time to snorkel. These reefs have a good mix of soft and hard corals. And being a green zone, we get to enjoy seeing generations of fish. Along with fish, there was quite a lot of turtle action going on in the area. It was mating season. We wouldn't get to snorkel a reef this good for quite a while. It was time to start doing bigger sailing jumps as we slowly made our way to Tasmania. So we enjoyed one last night at Border Island before heading towards Hazelwood Island. And we'll leave off here on a glassy morning with giant whirlpools and a backdrop of the beautiful Pentecost Island.